According to The Hollywood Reporter, the Tron franchise will likely be retired from the big screen after Tron Ares' underwhelming domestic box office performance.
Not like this.
And this should come to the surprise of absolutely no one who's been paying attention to the way that Disney operates. Let's discuss.
I watch so you don't have to.
All I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
So today is a bittersweet moment for me as well as for a lot of other people, and I say that not because I have any kind of real connection to this franchise, as I've expressed many times before. But I do feel for the level-headed and normal Tron fans out there who might be disappointed by this news. I really do feel for those people. I understand how they feel, being a massive Star Wars fan for so many years. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. How does that compare when Disney has continued to make Star Wars content until this very day? And my response to that would be, real Star Wars content has not existed for a very long time, and no, I do not consider Disney's bastardized version of it to be legit Star Wars content.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
I would ask the level-headed Tron fans today, would you rather see this franchise continue and possibly have the Mouse House continue to misrepresent it? Or can you find peace in the fact that 3 Tron films do exist, they are never going away, they will always be there for you to enjoy, and this franchise can no longer be watered down? There's also hope in this news that the Tron franchise might continue, just not in a cinematic fashion. I would think an animated series would be the best option for this franchise, considering the cost would be much lower and thus the risk wouldn't be as high.
That makes sense.
So it may not be the definitive end of this franchise, but it may be the end in one aspect, if in fact this report is accurate. As for the rest of you, the Tron Ares fans who have complained another franchise to death, as one person put it on X, I have to ask, as things stand right now, was it worth it to go out of your way to attack anyone who didn't like this film as much as you did? Was it worth it calling anyone who disliked this movie a hater, or even a loser, all in an effort to try to prop up this movie that you are desperately trying to defend? I came to the unfortunate realization today that there are some Tron fans who have now ascended into James Gunn fan levels of toxicity, acting as if Tron Ares, of all things, is somehow above criticism. I say again, nothing is above criticism, regardless of how much you personally might like it.
Boo this man!
Did I see bad faith criticism being lobbied at this film, even prior to its release? Of course. I've seen people dismissing and shitting all over this movie without even watching it for various reasons. The problem is that the toxic side of the Tron fandom online decided to lump all of us into one big group. And I say to those select few people that you deserve to feel the disappointment you are feeling today, if for no other reason for being insufferable human beings for the last week or so. As far as Disney killing yet another franchise, as I said, no one should be surprised. I can only continue to compare this situation to Star Wars because to me that is my closest frame of reference. I ask everyone to look at what's happened to the Star Wars franchise at Disney over the last several years and tell me that you do not see similarities to what's going on with Tron. How many times have we seen a Star Wars project that sounded somewhat promising completely fall apart due to creative differences? I got an education this week from some of the cool Tron fans who were kind enough to inform me about the Tron Ascension film that never came to be. From what I understand, it was supposed to be a more direct sequel to the previous film, Legacy, and was once again to be directed by Joseph Kosinski.
We were on the verge of greatness. We were this close.
Now, I don't know if this movie being made after Legacy would have changed this franchise's fate, because again, I do not know that Tron was appealing enough to general audiences to justify another film's existence in the first place. But from the sounds of it and the feeling I've been getting all week, a lot of Tron fans were more interested in that film. And it may have caused a lot of them to skip out on this less desirable film in Ares. Does this not sound like Disney once again repeating past mistakes? Not listening to fans, undermining a better project with a better creative, all in an effort to maintain complete creative control. Tron Ares felt like a soulless misrepresentation of what Tron means to some people, told through a Disney lens. And it sounds like a lot of people saw through that in the trailer and the promotion of this film and decided to not support it.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
When you cannot drum up support from general audiences, and you alienate part of your core fan base in the process, we've seen this happen before with other Disney-owned properties, and it almost always is a recipe for disaster. The Hollywood Reporter then added fuel to the fire by putting out an article titled, "No One Asked for This Reboot," in reference to Tron Ares, and of course, the conspiracy theorists out there are calling it a hit piece. Now, aside from the fact that this film is not a reboot, and the Hollywood Reporter does place a lot of blame on Jared Leto, which I don't necessarily agree with, the general idea that nobody asked for this movie is a dose of reality, a harsh truth that today a lot of people are coming to terms with. Of course, you have people who are responding saying, "I asked for Tron Ares," or "a bunch of people asked for Tron Ares," but if that were true, wouldn't Tron Ares have made a lot more money than it actually ended up making? You cannot gauge interest in a film based solely on social media likes and interactions, because we have numerous examples at this point of how that has absolutely no impact on real-world results. This movie did not underperform because of bad critical reviews. Films have gotten bad critical reviews in the past and still went on to make a lot of money. I don't even think that this film underperformed because of Jared Leto, although I do understand why he's taking a bulk of the blame. But the truth is that I think this movie would have underperformed regardless of who was in the lead role. Because put quite simply, Disney has shown us time and time again that they are in the business of making films that even the hardcore fans do not want. Disney is 1000% responsible for killing the Tron franchise cinematically, and once again, it has everything to do with them not having a better understanding of what this franchise means to some people.
Y'all be cool. Shut up.